She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa.
Hey guys, I'm with the Creative Gem, back with another video, and today I'm going to show you how to do this cute finger coil style. It's so easy to do, and I only use 2 products. Make sure you watch my video until the end because I'm going to tell you very special details about how you can enter my first giveaway. Alright guys, you know the deal. It is in fact wash day. I am washing my hair with Shea Moisture's Detox Shampoo and also the Main Choice Perfect Blend Shampoo. I love using the Detox Shampoo because I only need a little bit to cleanse my scalp. And I like to use the Main Choice Shampoo right after to make my curls nice and juicy. Before we jump into the tutorial, I'm going to show you what products I'm using. So here I got the Melanin Care Twist Elongating Style Cream and Emerges Style Goals Gel. Those are my main 2 products, but this one is optional. This is the Main Choice Leave-In Spray. Alright, so here I'm picking out my hair into an afro. Because I'm doing finger coils, I want to make sure my hair is very much detangled, so none of the strands get caught around my fingers. So in the front, I'm doing a T-part, but this time, instead of doing a straight back middle part, I'm doing a lightning bolt, aka a zigzag part. After doing the zigzag part, I'm going to part my hair on both sides, from ear to ear. Here is my T-part, and it's okay if both sides aren't even. The finger coils are actually going to cover it up. I'm ready to start my braids on each side, and of course, I'm using the classic Shine and Jam. I also like using Cantu's TXTR's Control Paste with this because it gives the braids that shine and makes them last a lot longer. Of course, before I start braiding, I like to apply the gel down the parts and also on my edges to make sure my braids are nice and smooth. I'd also apply the gel throughout the hair and also a little water to help with sleek because it makes it a lot easier to grab the strands when I'm braiding. And of course, to also make the parts look even cleaner, I'm brushing it down and also brushing up my edges. With all that done, I'm now going to braid this side of the head. I'll repeat the same steps so my other braid can be nice and neat as well. Next, I'm going to take these black rubber bands and wrap them around each braid towards where the braid ends on the scalp. To me, the rubber bands make the braids last longer, but also make it easier to wrap my braids towards the center of the back of my head. Alright, now that the front is done, it is now time to start the finger coils. This is when the Melanin Care and gel come into play, because these are the 2 main products that I'm going to be using for the finger coils. So here I parted my hair into several sections, and I'm also dampening a little with the water. I'm also pouring some of this gel into the lid because this makes it a lot easier to just simply tap it and keep it moving. And apply it to the strand because remember, finger coils are basically you twirling the strand around your finger. And this does take some time. It could take an hour, 2 hours, depending on how fast you move. So you want to make sure you have really, really good slick when you're twirling the strands around your fingers. So there, as you can see, I just simply tapped my finger into the gel, applied it to the hair, and make sure it's heavily coated. You want to make sure your strand is very, very coated with product, almost dripping in product. Because like I said, you are twirling it around your finger multiple times, perhaps 20 times. So you want to make sure it's a super easy process and you don't want any strands to get caught around your finger. So as you saw, that made a nice finger coil, very tight and very saturated with product. Trust me, the more product you have, the easier it is to twirl. And speaking of twirling, there's two ways you can do it. The first one, I did it with a single finger. And then this one, as you can see, I'm doing it with 2 fingers. Either way works. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're kind of pulling the strand like downward when you're twisting. Make it kind of taut. And that will help define the coils more. Here I am starting the 3rd coil. And a good tip is to make sure your finger is very, very tight at the root when you're starting it. You want to wrap it around your finger so tight towards the scalp until you can't anymore. And when you can't anymore, you can actually take your finger, hold it, and then gradually keep twirling it around until you get to almost the end of the strand. This perspective actually shows it a little better, and this is the back of my head. The back of your head is a little bit harder because you can't see, and oftentimes your finger will get caught in other free strands. So what I like to do is sometimes hold the hair around it down so my finger doesn't get caught in other strands. Because if you have fine hair like me, it definitely will happen. And of course, don't forget about your little hairs in the back of your head as well. Go ahead and coil those up too. Alright, so the finger coil process is pretty much just that. You use your fingers and you twirl the strand. So I'm going to fast forward this and show you half of my head already done. Very nice defined coils, and I think it took me about 15 minutes or so. I'm not really sure because I took breaks and I was watching TV at the same time, but it shouldn't take you long if you move quick. I move pretty quick, so it doesn't really take me long if I'm not distracted, that is. But at the same time, it is good to watch TV or listen to some music while you're doing this, because this does take it does take some time. Alright, so here's the other side of the head that I'm finishing up. And then here it is all done. The coil should look like this, highly saturated with product, and when I touch it, they do not separate. So if they don't separate, that means I coiled it pretty well. Alright, so the 2 product finger coils are now complete. This part is optional, but I'm just spraying a leave-in conditioner for a scent and also for extra shine. For the drying process, you can air dry, which is my go-to choice because then I can go and do errands and clean around the house. Or you can use the blow dryer and use the diffuser to dry it. But my go-to is air drying, and with air drying, I can use 2 different scarves here. The pink one, it can lay down my edges better, and also air can also go underneath and air dry it better. And then this other one is like for locks. I like to use this one to kind of shape the hair, but also still dry it at the same time. So here I'm just pushing the coils back underneath the scarf, and now it's time to let it sit, as I like to call it. I'm gonna let it sit overnight and do the big reveal in 3, 2, 1. My finger coils are completely dried, and all I'm doing now is just styling it up. In some videos, you may see girls taking the coils apart. However, I like leaving them be. I think they look gorgeous as they are, nice and shiny, and I also don't want to risk messing them up by pulling them apart. Oh my gosh, guys, I love these finger coils. They last all week long without me refreshing them. And I love I can just take my scarf off and go. And I also can style these up with different headbands. Here I'm using my crown-like headband, complemented by some gold jewelry. This is the 4-in-1 scarf that I folded over a few times and made into a headband with some hoops. And finally, here is a neon green headband that I got from the Dollar Tree, and also rocked it with some hoops that I had on hand. Alright guys, so that concludes my 2 product finger coil tutorial. I love this style because it's so versatile and I can rock a different headband every day. Okay guys, I want to do a giveaway. But I'm only going to do a giveaway if I get 300 followers on Instagram. Once I'm at 300 followers, I'm going to give away a free bottle of First Love by Rose Gold Fragrance Company. It's an up-and-coming Black-owned perfume company that makes homemade perfumes. So if you want to win a bottle, help me get to 300 subscribers on Instagram. Follow my socials below and see you in the next video.